Mtashed made a video. Yeah.
People called me a
What is this
conspiracy
about?
theorist about Wuthering Waves. They said I was a blasphemer, I was a liar, but I was right. I was right about
What is he talking about?
the ping. Now, this might seem crazy. I might seem kooky, but I noticed very early on there is something wrong with the servers of this game and the inputs of this game, and I was right.
Okay.
At least other people are starting to come to light and bring these things to light and talk about them. Now, I understand that Wuthering Waves has some amazing things, but
Jesus, that's a lot of a mess right there.
Is so punishing that if you miss a dodge, you can take some incredible amounts of damage, or
that's
you
true.
Can get one shot. So
that's very true.
Pressing the button and the button not registering and doing the dodge feels bad. And I noticed it over and over again. And people were like, oh, you just missed your dodge. No, I didn't.
That's 100% true.
I didn't. I pressed the button. I know in my soul I pressed that button and I didn't dodge.
Okay, yeah. To some like extent, I do agree with his opinion in a sense where like there is some sort of delay because like you're not playing the game on your computer, similar to like the Elden Ring on other games that you play on your main computer, basically. Because like there is information that have to be sent to the server first, so you can so it can receive that you dodged or whatever. So in a sense, yeah, you need to like to have a really good ping in order to like to play Wuthering Waves. So yeah, he's making a point here.
Now, I want to preface this clip I'm about to show you because it's a completely different game. But I used to be a very competitive shooter player. Back in high school, I would go and I would travel around and play in Halo 3 tournaments. I'd play online. I was a very high-ranked gamer. And then I got old.
That's true. That's exactly what happens when you get old.
All right? This is Shroud. Okay,
oh, the good old days of PUBG.
He's a great player. His name is Michael as well. He is one of the best players in the world. He's a CSGO pro. This guy is way better than me. He is way better than 99% of people. And he is decimating everyone in this lobby. But I knew, not because of this, but because of something that happened earlier, that this guy is not playing the same video game as me.
All right.
He is playing with such a massive advantage.
What is the point here?
Because of this. All right. I want to explain this because this is what's happening in Wuthering Waves. And there's a whole other post about it in Wuthering Waves talking
about
I
want to read that.
Issues. When Shroud flies in here and he goes and he picks up this gun, he drags the gun into his inventory, all the ammo into his inventory, and equips it. But for me, in Canada, I couldn't do that. I know that it sounds so stupid, but he goes like this, and he swipes all these guns in his inventory, all the ammo, and it's in his inventory, it's equipped, it's ready to go. I literally could not do that from my Canadian connection because it would, like, drop the guns out. And
that's very interesting because, like, you would think the servers are in the North America, whatever.
So, anytime I played PUBG, I would get frustrated because I would go, I'm not playing the same game. I am playing a scuffed version of this game. I am playing a dumbed down or trolled version of this game. I don't feel like it is competitive. And that's the exact same way I feel about the bosses in Wuthering Waves. Now, there's another thing here. This guy on Wuthering
Waves... This game punches a high ping more than most multiplayer games, despite being mostly a single-player experience. That's true. There are many things in this game that simply don't work if you have high ping, including Kalsharo not filling his forte bar properly. If you have 150+ ping, a full basic rotation during his ult will fill 4.5 segments instead of the intended 5 out of 5. That's very true. I actually noticed that. That's very, very true.
It says,
in front of Rider and other echoes, which have different effects depending on how long you press the button, will randomly use their long press effect, even if you just tap the button if you have high ping. In the video, you can see Encore using the bike mode instead of the 3-hit combo, despite me doing a short tap. This happens easily 75% of the time at 190 ping and renders that echo unusable. But I think like if you have more than 120 like ping in this game, I don't think you should play it. Like this game is unplayable at 120 ping. I actually played a lot of other games, and and I played Smite. Smite. This is like a I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, basically like it's the same issue. If it's 120, the information that reaches the server is very, very delayed to the point where it's unplayable. So I think it's the same thing with Wuthering Waves. If you want to like to be dodging and so on, you have to like to have a good connection enough in order to like to send the information and receive it back in time, without the actual delay, because like one millisecond can then make the difference and you get one-shotted, as Mtashed said at the beginning.
I ping more than most multiplayer games despite being mostly a single player experience. Calcharo not filling his forte bar properly. I felt this all the time. I would slash, and I'd only have 2 out of 3 on the bars. Even though I hit the target, it would not work. If you use his forte gate or his ultimate and you're doing those attacks, it wouldn't fill the bar properly, even when hitting them, because somewhere in the sauce, in the ping, it would get deleted. It just wouldn't register on the servers. And the same thing goes with dodging and other things.
Interesting that he says it's a server problem, because like I know I have a good connection and so on, but I feel like some people have really bad connections as well. So it's not only the servers. I think it's a mixture of two.
Randomly not dodge at all when pressing the button. The amount of people that just said skill issue, skill issue, skill issue. No, it's the game. It is 100% the servers. I've played like
I'm not subscribed to Mtashed. That's insane.
I have played online. I have played against some of the best players in the world, where a tiny advantage matters, and I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel in the middle of a tournament that my jump button had a tiny little grain of sand in a little.
That's very true. Like in competitive gaming, like you like 1 millisecond basically can make a huge difference. I used to play like I'm a master player in Apex Legends, and like movements and everything like makes a huge difference. And if you have any sort of delay, any millisecond delay can get you killed like very, very easily. Someone can one clip you at any second. So he does have a point here.
Grain of hair. There's a cat hair shoved in there and it wasn't quite activating. I could snip it out.
His examples are so hilarious.
The ping, there's been something wrong. And the other big one of the main mechanics of the game, is the parrying. Pairing with characters have short parry frames, like Calcharo, becomes almost impossible.
Sure.
Now, there is a couple things.
That's very true, because like we know that each character, like each character has their own sort of like length when it comes to like to parrying. Like obviously, like you can't compare Jian or Jinchi like parrying, because they have like some sort of like AoE like kind of thingy, and it's pretty quick. So you don't like have to time it perfectly. But if you have like other characters, like such as Calcharo, for example, you do need like the perfect parry, and that takes like the millisecond in order to like to get it done correctly. To be honest,
things here. It's based on the animation a little bit, so certain animations are better. Verena, Gion, some of them have these crazy easy parries, but there were times where I would sit there, I would watch that animation, and I would click it, I would test it, and it just wouldn't work. I would do it absolutely perfectly. I would go into the crownless fight. I would not even try to dodge. I would not have any music on. I would sit there and just press parry, and it would not work. I could tell it early on. I could tell it a couple hours in, and then 100 hours into the game, I said, this is broken. This is not functioning properly, and getting one shot by a boss because of it made me angry. And other people just, it's like they just called it skill issue, and they would just call me a complainer. But the more I played the game, the more I would get frustrated, because it's like, this doesn't feel fair. I did the thing I was supposed to do. I should win. I should parry them. I should dodge. I should be alive right now. And every time it happened, it was this little thing in my brain saying, "This isn't right. This isn't smooth."
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I do agree with him. Like, I do agree with him. Like, you need like a good server in order for the information to travel to the servers very, very fast. But you do need like a good connection. But I assume like he has good connections since he's a streamer as well. But yeah, like, I did sense it a couple of times when I can swear that I clicked the button and stuff like that, but I didn't think that the servers are having an issue. But I did see some sort of like influctuation when it comes to like the ping as well. It's not very, very stable. So I do believe that there is some sort of like server issues that is not sorted properly and so on. But yeah, it does make sense. His point like does make sense.
Glad that other people are recognizing this. Now, there's one thing I want to discuss is in this post, he talks about ping, 150 plus ping. It isn't just that. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm a pro Valorant player, but I am a very good pro-ish level shooter player overall. Any game I play, I can pull off
That's a good
shots
shot.
like that. Even though I suck arguably at Valorant compared to a pro player, there are moments where my aim shines compared to the average person, and people go, huh, this guy's cooking. And I understand that in the world of Valorant, there's lots of guys
does Mtashed
great at aiming.
play
But I
Valorant? That's
noticed
insane.
very
That's
early
good
on,
shots.
Valorant servers suck. Being a Canadian player, it is so obvious that I'm at a disadvantage over other people that I even tested it. I played against a friend from Texas who's closer to the servers, and we filmed strafing out, and he would strafe out and shoot me before I could see him on the screen. Now, I understand that there's peeker advantage, and there's going to be different things like that, but we did a bunch of tests at different angles, and it is insane how much of an advantage he had over me.
Interesting.
And so even though in the game you might not have 150 ping, like this guy is saying here, he's saying 150 ping, it doesn't matter. Because in Wuthering Waves, I only have, 60, 70, 80 ping on some of the streams or some of the days, and it still feels terrible. Because depending on where you live and the location of the servers, it is not registering inputs. This video.
That's true. I mean, yeah, that's 100% correct. To be honest with you, like, if you want to like to release a game where like the parry and the dodge like mechanics depends so much on the milliseconds where the information is reaching the server, I think you need to like to invest a lot of money in order to like to get like good player experience.
Here, just tapping the button for this guy, sometimes it will summon the whole thing in. It would happen all the time with my Mort. I would try to just tap the herring, and then I'd go into the flying summon mode because it would register as like a long input, even though I just tapped the button.
I did.
There's all sorts.
That's like such a good point, because I did the same thing. Like a couple of days I was playing Mortify, and I was like fighting a boss, and sometimes it does like go into the bird, despite the fact that I'm tapping it and not pressing it or whatever.
Sorts of little hijinks like that where you're pressing a button and it's just not reacting properly. Because if you're quick tapping and you're trying to do the multiple hit combo, because of the delays, it's just registering it as one single push. It's not differentiating those buttons. And so I don't know all that goes into it, but I've known for a long time that Wuthering Waves had something that was just a little bit off, just a little weird. And I'm glad that I'm not crazy. Reading through the comments, there's other people that are like, yeah, no, I get this as well. There's probably going to be other people that just won't agree and call it skill issue, and that is what it is. But when I'm fighting a boss that can one-shot me, and I have to parry, and I have to click it perfectly so that I don't die, and it doesn't register, I just don't want to play the game anymore. I just don't. And when I play a game like Dark Souls,
it can be really, really frustrating, like playing these sort of games, because like I played Elden Rings, right? And like everything goes perfectly, and you can call it a skill issue when you don't dodge properly or you don't parry or whatever. But in Wuthering Waves, you can tell there is some sort of like delay or whatever whenever you're dodging or whatever. So I think I do agree with his point. Like maybe not to 100% in a sense, because like if you have a good connection, I think it should solve the problem a little bit. But in this like case scenario, I think like you need good servers in order to like to reduce that delayed input or whatever.
When I miss a dodge, I missed the dodge.
Oh yeah, okay.
I
Because
understand
it gets
every
to Elden
time
Ring
it's
as
a
well.
skill issue, and I do not question it.
Oh my
Every
god,
time I die
he
in
stole
Elden
everything
Ring,
I
I
said.
might go, "Oh my god!" But I also knew it was my fault. The attack might be BS. It might have a crazy attack window, but I always know when I'm going to press dodge, I will dodge, and it will work 100% of the time. I
Yeah,
never ever
exactly.
questioned it in that game. I have never even considered, oh, the button didn't work. Not even once. So, yeah. I'm not crazy.
Like,
I am good at the game. I am good at the game.
why does he have to make it like that? What the hell is going on? Yeah, I agree with them 100%. Like, the if you want to like to release a game where it's very dependent on two mechanics, you need to have really really good servers and stuff like that. Because I can see like you being the further away you being from the server, it could be very very problematic, and ping does make a huge difference in these sort of games. Yeah, but it's like if you guys like been having some sort of issues with the ping and so on, let me know in the comments down below, because like I said, I have such a good connection. I have like a half a gig connection. So it's pretty quick. So sometimes like I do think it's me, which is like skill issue, and sometimes like I do click the button in time, but it doesn't register as well. So if you guys like have been suffering from this, if you're closer to the server or further away, let me know in the comments down below, because I really really want to know. I'm very interested. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.